Mic check, mic check. What's going on, world? You already know it's your boy SB, and I'd like to welcome y'all back to episode 31 of season 5 of the Roll Up Podcast. To think that we did 30 episodes in season 4, and we on episode 31 of season 5 is insane. And it's due to each and every one of y'all that's been tapped into the journey. Like, if you've been a part of the process from the beginning, I want to say thank you. If you just now tapping into the podcast and you binge listening to episodes, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to each and every one of y'all that subscribe to the podcast, whether it be YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Thank you for supporting the movement via social media, whether it be engaging with the content, sharing the campaign via word of mouth. I just want to say thank you for allowing this podcast to be a beacon of positivity in your journey. The reason why we are going in the direction that we're going is credit to the love and support that y'all give day in and day out. Again, as I say, I shall forever give thanks like a pilgrim. But before we go any further, we got to cover some logistics first. I would like to extend the invitation, if you haven't done so already, to like, comment, and subscribe to the campaign. We're going to take over the algorithm this year, so help me help you by sharing this content with the homies, sharing it to your feed. You can also, if you haven't done so already, you can follow the movement on Instagram and Threads at the Roll Up Podcast. Also, make sure you subscribe to the campaign on YouTube at the Sauce Brady Experience. Speaking of, be sure to tap into the SauceBradyExperience.com. That's the official hub of the Roll Up Podcast. I got a lot of great segments that are about to get added to the movement, and the one way to not miss a beat is to stay tapped into the hub to stay up to date with what's to come. Also, be sure to check out the Sauce Factory and the Spot. The Season 5 merch collection is going crazy right now. And again, if you make a purchase on the Sauce Factory or the Spot, you will also receive a free autographed copy of my book titled You Deserve Better. You can also use code TRUPOD, that's TRUPOD, to get 30% off your merch over at the Sauce Factory. So make sure y'all get that direct link from the SauceBradyExperience.com and grab you some of the Season 5 merch. I currently have 2 books for sale right now on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. One is titled Here's the Truth. The other is titled You Deserve Better. Both are great reads, and as you set out to achieve greatness, they'll give you the extra nudge to keep going. So make sure y'all grab a copy of one of those books. I will also be starting a new campaign very soon titled Gaming with Sauce, where I live stream some of my favorite video games, and we'll also do a Q&A so we can chop it up a little bit and get to connect with one another. I'm excited to embark on this live stream journey, so make sure y'all stay tapped in for that as well. So now that we got the business out of the way, you already know what time it is. In the last episode, we talked about the importance of desire. And I hate to guess wrong, but I'm sure each and every one of us has the desire to be free. Whether it's freedom from our past, freedom from anxiety, worrying about the future, financial freedom, or just simply being the truest, authentic version of ourselves. Today's episode is simply a reminder that you are one decision away from changing your life. So why not choose to be free? As always, we got to kick the episode off with a quote. And today's quote comes from the legend Deepak Chopra, and it reads, "Being free brings a lightness, a carefree surrender to all that is happening around you, and above all, an acceptance of reality." Although slavery was abolished in 1865, slavery in fact does exist. You don't think so? How much money do you have left over after working 40 hours a week and 80 hours over 2 weeks? Think about it. The bills have been around long before us and will be here long after us. And what aspect qualifies that as quote-unquote freedom? To counter this, though, we should all choose inner freedom. As Deepak's quote stated, above all, being free is an acceptance of reality. Once you've come to grips with what's going on around you, it makes it easier to get back on the money hunt. One of my favorite quotes of all time states, "An arrow can only be shot forward by being pulled backwards." If we think about the sport of archery, the draw, and the importance of velocity and distance of an arrow, we can draw very similar comparisons to our life. We walk aimlessly until we realize that we have a calling that we haven't tapped into. Once we locate our target or our desired level of interest, we are loading up an arrow. The adversities that we face along the way weren't intended to derail us, they were providing key insights on how to make it to the next level. As we continue to pursue our dreams, applying the lessons learned, this will be considered the draw, because we face a lot of resistance, only to be catapulted faster than ever to our dreams once we realize that each step of the process was necessary to transcend. When we look at the term resistance, it is the refusal to accept or comply with something. That something could be anything. It could be time to make a change, and we fight that change by making up scenarios in our head that make us feel more comfortable. We could be in the middle of waking moments that will lead us to a brand new life, but we are afraid that we will become successful. Whatever the case may be, the one thing that could be stopping you from getting from point A to point B is the refusal to accept that change is necessary. At times, we will allow our resistance to struggle outweigh our determination to push through the struggle. Very similar to a radio tuning into channels, our resistance can cause a disconnect to our vision, causing distortion of our goals. Embracing the struggle and accepting that your current situation isn't your final destination allows you to be in the moment. Accepting that change is constant and one day things may be different than the day before is the key to breaking free from resistance and allowing life to flow the way it's supposed to. As far as my personal life is concerned, there are a few things in my life that are tough pills to swallow. There are situations that I play in my head and I try to convince myself that optimism can save all situations. But the truth is, change is among us. And the worst thing we could do is see that change is coming, confirm that the person we want to be is on the other side of that change, and then choosing to remain the same. Just like the seasons, our relationships and situations have their time and place. The spring season, which we're in right now, is one of sunshine, rejuvenation, redemption, and new beginnings. Accepting that it's time to turn the page on certain chapters may be hard to accept, but as I always say, if change was easy, everybody would do it. The truth is, we can't avoid change, because avoiding change, procrastinating on our life purpose, and dragging our feet towards our goals will cause feelings of discomfort and unworthiness. Accepting change builds our confidence and allows us the opportunity to be who we say we are. As we transition into the new season, we must learn to not resist our calling, but trust in our process. Trust that the universe is working on our behalf. Just like the archery analogy at the beginning, life is giving you resistance because it is preparing to launch you farther than your wildest imagination. Life lessons can be unfair at times, but the key is understanding that everything happens for a reason. When one door closes, another opens. As we move into this new season of our lives, let's embrace the process. Let's take a step back to lock in and analyze the events that open our eyes to a new way of thinking. Let's welcome those lessons and embrace the new seasons that are among us. With that being said, we are at the end of today's episode. Just wanted to, be the reminder to you that your life isn't over until you're 6 feet under. You may not be where you want to be. You may not have the bank account that you want to have. You may not live in the mansion that you want to have. But when you set yourself free from the shackles in your mind and begin to find your way, you will see beauty in the process. I hope something was said in this episode to inspire you to be free, whether it be physically, mentally, spiritually. I hope it inspires you to be free. If you enjoyed what you've heard, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the campaign. Make sure you lock into the movement on YouTube at the Sauce Brady Experience. Make sure you check out the SauceBradyExperience.com. You can follow me on social media at the Roll Up Podcast on Instagram and Threads. Make sure you check out the Sauce Factory and the Spot. Remember, each purchase automatically qualifies you to get a free autographed copy of my book, You Deserve Better. Also, you can use code TRUPOD, that's TRUPOD, at the Sauce Factory to get 30% off your merch. Also, just make sure you stay tapped into the SauceBradyExperience.com, man. Got a lot of shit about to happen. Shit about to get real. I'm telling you, shit about to get real. And as always, man, roll a fatty, because you deserve it. You already know it's your boy. Peace.